Bob Bulmer, Environmental Services Manager for Hutchinson's. I'm at Helix East Farm today in Lanefield, where we're doing experimental work in winter wheat. But I thought it was well worth pausing just to have a look at this quite spectacular environmental feature that's been established. So this is a pollen and nectar habitat that was created 2 years ago. The main flowers you can see are oxeye daisy and red campion. So this is part of the countryside stewardship scheme, which is aimed at improving biodiversity, and this feature is aimed at improving habitat for pollinators. And there's an awful lot of pollinators in here today. We've seen honeybees, butterflies and hoverflies, just to name a few. Very nice feature, as I say. There are a lot of flowers providing pollen and nectar at the moment, but you can see other species waiting in the wings to provide that continuity of supply that you need for pollinators. So the wild carrot and the black knapweed will flower later on in the year to provide resource for pollinating insects. This is also a good example of what you can do to actually stack benefits. So we've got a fantastic resource for pollinators and biodiversity generally, but it's also located next to a ditch and a hedge, which you can just see behind me, with a footpath. So it's providing some protection from farm operations and demonstrating compliance with legislation on pesticides. You're not supposed to allow them to drift into watercourses. And there's also a clear distinction here between the cross-compliance area and the environmental feature. Two other benefits from this feature that are apparent are it's a very good way of dealing with awkward features like this telegraph pole, which is difficult to operate farm machinery around. So this squares off the field and makes it more manageable. And it's also noticeable how effectively these wild plants actually suppress blackgrass. This area used to be a real problem area for blackgrass, and now after 2 years there's hardly any in here.